So the algorithm doesn't hate you, it's actively ignoring you. When you have zero history, YouTube has zero confidence. So every impression that they give you is a risk. Right now, the system does not want to bet on you just yet. I know this because I'm fighting for every single impression on my channel right now too. The algorithm only cares about people clicking on your video and keeping them watching on the platform longer than your competition. So what can you do to escape the small channel hell that you're in right now? But before we get tactical, let me share a truth about us creators. The great psychiatrist Viktor Frankl used an analogy about pilots. He explained that if a crosswind is pushing you, you must deliberately overestimate the wind's effect, aiming to overshoot the runway, just to stay on the correct path. He then applied that to humanity itself. He said that if we take man as he really is, we make him worse. But if we take man as he should be, we make him capable of becoming what he can be. This means you must stop viewing yourself by your current status, your current views, 0 views, 5 views, your low CTR, your struggle. If you only look at your low views right now, you're simply confirming that's all you're going to get. But if you hold up to the ideal of the creator that you can be, the one who deserves the views and the audience, and you promote yourself to what you're capable of becoming, if you start acting like the creator you want to be, your viewers will undeniably notice. Be the idealist, that's how you become the real realist. But to realize that ideal, you must first master the unforgiving statistical reality of this platform. Let's change that. So this one's the biggest one of them all. You do not need permission to play it bigger, even if you're new at it. In the beginning, every creator tells themselves the same lie. I need to play it safe. That self-talk sounds like, I only have 20 subscribers, so I can't tackle a big topic like that right now. I don't have the budget, so I can't use that kind of cinematic editing. I'm just starting off and I don't have the skills, so I shouldn't challenge the biggest voices in my niche. Well, this is your brain trying to protect you from risk. It's trying to keep you small and comfortable, and it will convince you that you're stepping outside of your lane. You don't have a lane yet. You are building the road as you drive. So when you look at a big channel, you see that big, massive audience. So they have high production quality and they have a confident delivery. The people who are in it usually are pretty top notch. And hey, you can use those things as an excuse to hold you back from your own ideas. But do you think that you need authority before you can use the voice of authority? I'm sorry, but this is fundamentally backwards. I'm not saying that you have to be arrogant and know it all, but your audience doesn't care about how many subs you have after they click on the video. They only care about the value and the confidence that you bring to the video that they just clicked. If you deliver something that feels safe, small, or even hesitant somewhat, you're actively driving them away. And when you have a small channel, your biggest advantage is that you have nothing to lose because you can swing for the fences with every single video. Okay, so the second critical step to escaping small channel hell is recognizing that you're entering a massive open source competition. That means anybody can get on YouTube, right? And you must decide what makes you better or even different. So if you're just producing a slightly cheaper, slightly worse version of the content already being made by a big channel, you're setting yourself up for unnecessary struggle and honestly, a much slower path to growth. It doesn't mean you can't leverage what's already working, but you're providing the algorithm and the viewer with an easy reason to choose the established channel over you. Okay, your unique competitive advantage is a specific reason that a viewer should stop watching someone else and start watching you. So this is where you get hyper aware of your strengths and your current deficits. So how do you find your UCA? So maybe it's your perspective. So maybe you have a professional background, maybe like being an engineer or a doctor or a nurse or an entrepreneur, a business person. It can be an insurance agent. It could be so many things, right? That lets you critique a topic with a depth that no one else can match, right? So is it your personality? Maybe your sense of humor is sharper. Your on-screen charisma maybe is undeniable. Some people are huge with their personality. If somebody has a good personality and it's very relatable, like YouTube is much easier for them, to be honest. So maybe it's your production. Maybe your graphics are amazing, your editing style. Maybe you're already great at cinematography. And normally when you compare those videos with the rest, they outshine the majority of videos. But one thing I want to add to the conversation is this. And hey, sometimes you don't have a unique competitive advantage right now, and that's okay too. So your UCA is not a static trait. It's dynamic, it's flowing, it's ever evolving. It's a target that you must shoot for and then you have to build. And hey, the mistake is waiting for the advantage to magically appear. So you have to commit to that skill. You have to commit to the repetition, commit to the focus effort until your competitive advantage that you've chosen becomes so strong that it becomes your unique, unassailable brand. But developing a killer UCA is only half the battle. If you get stuck in the cycle of perfectionism and fear, that advantage will never see the light of day. Okay, stop confusing the algorithm. You just committed to building your unique competitive advantage, so you know what skill you're going to master. But all of that focus is going to be useless if your channel sends mixed signals to the algorithm. So this is the third mistake small channels make, which is confusing the algorithm, right? Seriously, you're confusing the system. So you can't create broadly different videos and expect to gain traction. You can argue that different formats could work. It doesn't have to be the same niche. I agree, but it's going to be a lot harder in the beginning to gain traction because the algorithm does not think like a human curator. It thinks with patterns, it thinks with probabilities. And when a viewer clicks on your video, the algorithm instantly asks, what other videos from this channel should I recommend to this viewer next? If they can't do that, it's not going to give you more priority. This is why a lot of niche down channels get more priority, because YouTube can show their other videos to that same viewer and they'll click and watch it. See, if your last video was about fixing a leaky sink and the next one is about some kind of philosophical discussion on the nature of time, and this one is about optimizing your video settings, I mean, come on, the system has zero confidence in what box to put you in. And I've seen some of your guys' channels, and I know you're trying to gain traction, so you have to be strategic. You have to niche down video after video to gain traction, and then you can broaden your topics. So this is one of the proven ways you can compete with the bigger channels eventually. You can ask all of the established YouTubers and they'll tell you this is true. This is not something I made up. This is something that you've seen over and over. If you do the research, you'll see that that is the case. Are there exceptions? Of course, there's always exceptions, but I don't focus on the things that are having very low probability of success. I focus on the things that have a high degree of success. And look, the key is that the broader topics must still fit within the overarching theme of your niche videos. Okay, so I want to give you examples of what not to do, because I believe negative examples are a good way to learn more than the positive ones. This is my opinion. So if your niche is filmmaking, and your videos are, let's say, best DSLR cameras for beginners, that's one video. Then you have top 10 film soundtracks. Then you have vlog editing tutorial in Premiere Pro. I mean, these topics attract 3 different audiences. So you have gear buyers, you have film critics, and you have editors. The algorithm's not going to classify you. It may eventually, but not in the beginning. You are the one training the algorithm, not the other way around. Be consistently speaking to one specific viewer. You are teaching the algorithm who to serve your videos to. The result when this happens is going to be an explosive growth and that critical social proof tipping point that you're looking for. But you're probably saying, but Michael, I'm already niching down. Each of my videos are in the same niche and the algorithm still isn't promoting me. Well, and it leads me to the next point. You don't know what you don't know. Now, if you're thinking, where are you coming up with these confusing point titles and aggressive metaphors? So that's a valid point. I understand I'm using those, but let me explain. We're talking about escaping a plateau right here. So this plateau place where you're trying really hard, but nothing's moving. And when you're stuck, you're usually stuck because of a blind spot, not a lack of effort. You're simply operating under the wrong assumptions. So the danger for most creators is operating with the ceiling of knowledge. So you consume the standard advice, optimize your thumbnail, post consistently, use good audio, video, and storytelling, and you genuinely believe you've mastered the platform. But if you're still getting low views, it means there's a gap between what you think and what the data demands. This is the ultimate hidden mistake. You don't know what you don't know. When I structure these points and use challenging language, It's specifically to jar you out of these comfortable but incorrect assumptions. It's a way to get you to question the fundamental understanding of the game. So, your true path to growth lies in identifying the things that you currently assume are true, but are secretly sabotaging your channel. So, this requires humility and a willingness to accept that your past effort was misdirected. I do this all of the time. I'm not just talking about it because I don't live what I say. I try to live what I say too. You're not the only one, it's me too. So I understand. So stop looking for the easy hack and start looking for that deep learning deficit that is still holding you back. And hey, when you overcome these unseen complex structural barriers, so you hit a moment that I call the social proof tipping point. So this is the moment when the machine starts betting on you. So this is where the rewards just don't multiply, they compound exponentially. All of a sudden, your credibility is going to instantly go up because your videos are starting to get more views. The machine now has confidence in you, and you'll see it reflected everywhere. Your CTR is going to go up, your AVD is going to go up, and most importantly, YouTube gives you a premium slot in suggested, in browse, and even search traffic. And hey, after my small channel roast on my last video, I know the pain that you're feeling. I mean, I know it's tough. This is a tough platform to excel on. I understand. But what happens when you decide to bet on other people? As you experience that success, don't be afraid to make connections with other people. When you invest in others and support what they're doing, even when they're still little channel, you're making way for that energy to affect other people's lives you never thought possible. We need to see other channels not for where they are right now, but for where they're going. So you need to invest in others as much as you can. So you need to pay it forward, not because you have to, and not because you're trying to get something out of someone, and not because you're trying to game the algorithm. I think we need to do it because we genuinely want others to succeed. Because when you help others succeed, they will often take you with them. And hey, YouTube needs you to watch this video next.